What's up, family? I want to share with you something I was just thinking about. Um, the fact that you'll never hit if you never swing. And story is when I was a kid, when I first started playing Little League Baseball, I loved it. Um, but when I first started my first year, I was afraid of the ball. So every time I got up to bat, I would freeze. I would literally I, I I studied how to swing. I studied the stance, have your elbow up, knees bent a little bit, shoulder width apart. I studied the greats. My favorite baseball player of all time was Reggie Jackson. Um, but I would get up there and I would freeze, and I was scared of the ball. And granted, I got beamed a couple of times. I even got beamed in the head. I was wearing a batting helmet, but I still got my bell rung, and the pitcher threw pretty hard. But anyway, I was scared, and like I said, I would freeze in the stance. And it got to the point midway through the season where my own teammates, when I was up to bat, they just had this give up attitude, like, well, he's out. Might as well just grab your gloves now and head out to the field. And because you played the same teams several times throughout the season, even opposing team players knew he's just going to stand there. He's just going to freeze. He ain't even going to swing. Don't even worry about it. So it was discouraging. So one game, I remember I made up in my mind. I was on deck and I was getting ready, and I was talking to myself, and I said, Tim, you're going to swing. Regardless, just swing. Just swing. So I went up there, and the first pitch came, swung around, strike one, missed it. It was a strike. But the thing is I remember a couple people noticing, like my coach, I think my parents noticed, some of the other players, my teammates, they noticed like he swung. So the second pitch comes, and I don't even remember seeing the ball. All I remember is swinging and hearing the sound of bat hitting ball crack and feeling the vibration through my hands when I hit it. And then time froze for like a second. It was dead silent. And then it just erupted into screams. Run! Holy crap, he swung. He hit it. Now, granted, I didn't hit no grand slam. I didn't hit no home run or nothing. And the ball looped and dropped in between infield and outfield, but it still dropped. I still made it on base. And I remember the shock. And the thing was, to me, people were proud that I was on first base. People were proud that I was able to advance the runner from first to second and stuff like that. But I was more proud that I swung. And something that was interesting that I thought about, that my next time, like a couple innings later, when it was my next time up at bat, the pitcher and everybody else on the opposite team took me just a little bit more seriously. They weren't just coming in close like, it's just an easy out. They took me just a little bit more seriously. My teammates took me just a little bit more seriously. So, but what I thought of is that if I just went through the whole season without swinging, you don't hit the ball without swinging. And something else that I thought about when I was planning on making this video is I was afraid of the ball because the ball was coming at me. And I looked at it as something coming at me to hurt me. And like I said, I got beamed a couple times and it did hurt. So I was hurt. But it didn't click until I was actually thinking about this, that the ball is actually the thing. You can't win the game. That's the key. The ball is the key. The ball coming at you is not the thing to scare you, to make you cower. The ball coming at you is the key to winning that game. Because you can't win the game without home runs. You can't get home runs unless you get on base. You can't get on base unless you hit the ball. You can't hit the ball unless you swing. You'll never hit if you don't swing. That's all there is to it. And we need to look at that with life, that sometimes life throws stuff at you and it hurts, but don't cower. Don't be afraid to get up there and swing again, regardless of what it is, regardless of what your age is, regardless of what your restrictions are, regardless of what your handicaps are. It doesn't matter. If there's something ahead in front of you, if there's a ball coming at you of life, coming at you, a situation, a career opportunity, a romance, anything that's coming your way, don't let it paralyze you. Don't let it fear you to the point where you're paralyzed and that you don't swing. Get up there and swing at it, because you never know. You might hit it out the park. I love you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. And don't forget, don't let what happened to you become you.